Hello everyone, this video is primarily for my printer analyst channel because I will be discussing political and current affairs, issues affecting normal everyday life. But I'm also uploading it to my Watchtower examination channel because it also covers the Watchtower organization, and that is why I'm using the background I normally use for the Watchtower examination channel. Years ago, I hoped for an injustice. I wanted an injustice to be carried out. Yes, I am confessing. Let me say it again. I really wanted an injustice to be done to someone. That's wrong. I should never do that. But let me tell you who the someone is and what the injustice that I was hoping would be meted out to him was. Mike Tyson was accused of raping a woman. Before the matter was taken to court, before the general public could get a sense of whether Mike was guilty or not guilty, people started, I heard it was a popular thing in the streets in my country, and I've heard it elsewhere, I've seen it in international tabloids. It is because he is a black man. And it is because he is a rising star that this woman is coming to try to tear him down. And I thought to myself, this is excessively dangerous. Because if people are going to make that assumption and start making that criticism of the woman before the matter even gets to court, two things are going to happen. One, what is going to happen to the next black rising star who feels a temptation to rape a woman? He is going to feel empowered because he's going to feel that she dares not report it. Because if she ever goes public, she's going to come under tremendous pressure and attack for telling a lie on him because he's a black rising star. And the second thing is what I just mentioned, the effect that it would therefore have on the victim if another, well, let me not say another, because if a black rising star were to rape a woman, she would feel all the more scared to come forward because of the precedent that has been set. And it was for that reason I thought to myself, I would prefer the injustice of Tyson being convicted when he's not guilty than what I deemed the injustice of the woman being a victim but being attacked because she dared to report the crime. Now, it was wrong of me to wish an injustice on a man because it really would be very, 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 very wrong if he never did it and he was falsely accused. I made a point, ladies and gentlemen, about what victims of rape must go through. Donald Trump is facing a civil suit from a woman who claimed that he raped her. And I give you a bit of the courtroom drama as reported by CNN.
Today, the jury witnessed Trump's attorney, Joe Tacopina, grilling E. Jean Carroll. At times, she spoke through tears as he questioned her about details of her story and her motivation for bringing this case.
Thank you.
E. Jean Carroll grilled on her allegations that Donald Trump raped her in a department store in the 1990s. This on the third day of her civil battery and defamation lawsuit in a federal court in Manhattan. Trump defense lawyer Joe Tacopina cross-examined Carroll for hours today about her story and her motivations. Using your own words, the facts that you have alleged in the story you have alleged here are odd, Tacopina said. Carroll responded, certain parts of this story are difficult to conceive of. Yes. The exchange becoming heated when Tacopina repeatedly asked Carroll why she didn't scream during the alleged assault. I'm not a screamer. I was too much in panic to scream. You can't beat up on me for not screaming. Tacopina shot back, I'm not beating you up. I'm asking you questions, Miss Carroll. Through tears, Carroll asserted, I'm telling you he raped me, whether I screamed or not. I don't need an excuse for not screaming.
Joined now by CNN legal analyst Karen Friedman Agnifilo, a former Manhattan Chief Assistant District Attorney. Karen, thanks so much for being with us. A big day in this case, maybe the biggest day, with E. Jean Carroll on the stand facing cross-examination. How do you think she held up?
It sounds by all the reporting that she held up quite well under this cross-examination. But I really think the type of cross-examination she was subjected to is Exhibit A about why women don't come forward. I mean, just the fact that she was questioned about what she did and didn't do, why she didn't scream, and really making her feel like she did something wrong when she was the one who was attacked, right? And she froze and she did the best she could in the moment. But this is the type of truly blistering cross-examination that why women don't come forward in the first place.
This is just so interesting because this woman erred because she's speaking. She's saying that Carroll was the one who is attacked. Bear in mind, it has not yet been established that she was indeed attacked. So the commentator is speaking as though it has been established that she was indeed attacked. So that's a little blunder on her part because it has not yet been proven that she was attacked. However, I played the clip because of what she said previously about this is exactly the reason women do not want to come forward. And I'm speaking with rape victims in general, but in this case, a woman. Women are the ones who are raped more frequently. We know that there are cases where men are sexually abused as well. But as a man, I feel especially for the women. Because let us assume, and let me make it clear, I am no longer wishing the injustice on Donald Trump that I erroneously wished on Mike Tyson years ago. Trump has not been convicted. We do not know if he raped this woman. But the point is, if he did, do you realize what is happening? Do you realize how she is undergoing, if she was in fact raped, how she would be undergoing this mental trauma, as it were? Because for a woman to be sexually abused and then have to go to court to have a lawyer treating her as though she is the one who did something wrong, it really is a very difficult situation for victims of rape to endure. And when I say difficult situation, it's difficult for the victims, but it is also difficult for the justice system, because it would equally be wrong for a woman to falsely accuse a man of rape when he did not do it. I'm sorry. And so if she is not a credible witness, the defense attorney has to try to establish that. There's discussion about how effective he might have been in this case, but that is not what I am looking on. I am looking on what women go through. In the case of Donald Trump, he has not been proven guilty. There is a possibility, as I said, that he did not do it. But in the case of a woman from Europe who sued the Watchtower organization over a rape. In her case, the man has been proven guilty and served time in prison for raping her. So there's no presumption of innocence where he is concerned, because he did it. He had been convicted beyond a reasonable doubt of raping this woman. Now, she filed suit against the Watchtower organization in the lower court, and she was given an award. The Watchtower appealed it, and it went to the appellate court, and the ruling was upheld. And so the Watchtower was ordered to pay over to this woman. The next thing you know, the Watchtower took it to the Supreme Court, who ruled, and I read as much as I could, and I could not find enough details about the case, because I myself wonder why this woman was suing the Watchtower, saying that the Watchtower is responsible for her being raped. That one, I really wonder why she went that route to say the Watchtower is responsible for her being raped. As it were, she was raped while out on field service by a man. Now, it may be on field service, but you could not blame the Watchtower for a man raping you. So I can therefore understand why the Supreme Court overturned the ruling. But that opened up a number of things to consider. First of all, the woman took the matter to the elders. Watch this. The criminal justice system found that the man was guilty. The elders in the Watchtower organization said there's nothing that they can do. As far as they are concerned, because there weren't two witnesses, the man was not punished by the Watchtower organization. So I would have understood, therefore, if she sued the organization for the trauma that she went through at the Judicial Committee. Because she was basically, if a woman were to report that she'd been raped, and the elders are going to determine that, I'm sorry, we have no evidence of that, you are basically telling someone who has been raped that you are probably a liar. Do you see what I'm talking about? Do you see what the victims must go through? She went to her church and could not get any support because of the stupid two-witness rule that the organization misapplies the scriptures to apply. And that is really something. I plan to do a video on that for the Watchtower Examination channel. So the Watchtower did nothing about her report of her rape. Now, picture the trauma of getting raped. Picture having to go to court to subject herself to the kind of cross-examination that E. Jean Carroll has been subjected to in her suit against Donald Trump. This woman, this Jehovah's Witness victim, would have gone through the same kind of cross-examination in the UK. So first, the trauma of the rape, then this difficult cross-examination that makes the woman feel like she is the guilty party. So she had to deal with that. Now, imagine her relief when she is given an award, only to have it delayed because the Watchtower is appealing. And so she goes through the appeal process, the initial appeal process, to be told that yes, you are going to get the money. The Watchtower is responsible. Only to find that delayed again because the Watchtower is appealing. Put yourself in the place of that woman. Imagine that were you. You are raped. You go through the lengthy process to sue an organization. You are told that we rule in your favor. The next thing you know, it is being appealed. So you have another lengthy process, and you are told, we are upholding the judgment. You believe you are going to be compensated. The next thing you hear, there is a delay. And at the end of it all, the Supreme Court overturns the ruling. Think about the expense that she has endured. Now, you have to sympathize with the Supreme Court because their role is to administer justice. And it really would be unfortunate to ask the Watchtower organization to pay over money because a woman was raped when it is not their fault. Now, we can have a discussion about how the Watchtower treats with victims of sexual abuse. That is another matter. But you cannot say that the Watchtower organization is indeed responsible for a man raping a woman, albeit in field service, so that the Supreme Court must administer justice. And it must have been, I'm sure they must have considered the disappointment that the woman would have to endure. But even so, their job is justice. Can you see, ladies and gentlemen, why so many men undoubtedly are getting away with rape? Can you see why so many victims can't be bothered with the trauma of reporting it? What a difficult situation it is for victims of rape to endure. I can't fully understand it because in all my life I have never been sexually abused, thank God. And so I can only imagine. And when it comes on to these things, I have to realize that I am only a parental analyst.